Nights Week this month, thousands of Israelis have marched to the Prime Minister's official residence, protesting what they see as his bungled reaction to the pandemic.
I want you to hear me, our Prime Minister. You disappoint me very, very much, and I was your #1 fan.
Chefs David Elmakayas and Yosef Shitrit drove from Tel Aviv, where they've owned a high-end restaurant since 2013. They've looked past corruption allegations against Benjamin Netanyahu to vote for his party time and time again. But what finally hit home was policies that flip-flopped.
I want Likud 20 years.
I never believed that I'm going to come to protest.
Yeah.
I never believe I'm going to do it, but here I am.
It's our first time.
It's my first time in my life that I come to protest.
We don't vote him again. We don't come from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem to give food for people, and we vote for him again.
The government's initial response to the pandemic worked. By mid-May, Israel was reporting as few as 10 cases a day, but it came at a cost. Unemployment skyrocketed from 4% to 24%, and the government tried to address it by reopening and then backtracking. Business owners felt pushed around, and now the country's reporting about 2,000 cases a day. The protests don't seem to faze Netanyahu, and neither does a corruption trial, which he pushed back, or the fact that results from the last 3 elections were inconclusive. He's now calling for a 4th election.
ואין תחליף ולא יהיה תחליף לביבי. קשה להם להשלים עם זה, חבל מאוד. אין להם מה לעשות עם הזמן. זה גיל הזהב, ובאים להפגין. יש חגיגה. אם ביבי היה מושחת, הוא היה מזמן בכלא, הוא מעולם לא...
דרך ממלאה דלק, נוסעת על חשבונית, נוסעת שעה כדי להגיע להפגין פה. יש מה לעשות בבית. חלק אותי! זה חלק אותי!
Police have arrested nearly 100 demonstrators and served many of them with a citation that bans travel to Jerusalem for up to 10 days. Israel has a COVID-19 response team, and it has a protocol to beat back a second wave. But when cases were down, Netanyahu pushed out members of opposing parties, and the members who replaced them aren't following the original plan. Ofer Shalach headed that committee before he was deposed.
Most of the Israeli public thinks that Netanyahu acts out of political reasons. And this has to do with the size and inefficiency, futility of his government, and so on. Once this happens, this is the seed of anarchy. You know, I'm Israeli born and raised. I've lived here for the past 60 years. We've never had a situation of such deep mistrust between the public and the government.
To Shalach, Netanyahu is not seeing the pandemic as a public health emergency. He sees it as a chance for political survival.
He's a coward. He's trying to lead us by cowardice. We Israelis, we the world, will not be led through this crisis by cowardice. What people are seeing for the first time in the Netanyahu years is a situation where you look at the polls. Most of the Israelis just think he's handling this very poorly. So it reflects on the whole of his 11-year term, and people are saying this is just not a very good prime minister, and this is a prime minister that acts because he has political considerations in mind, because he has legal troubles. He's not concerned with us anymore.
היום חוליה של חיזבאללה חדרה לשטח ישראל.
Netanyahu is holding another card. In November, voters might care more about security than the economy, and a recent clash with Hezbollah along the Lebanese border might remind them. Even though Netanyahu has survived crisis after crisis, this could be the beginning of the end for him. He's even losing the support of loyalists who once served him and his family dinner.
If the Netanyahu family asks me, and I don't know, if the government asks me that maybe they need to host some president for outside, I don't know, maybe Trump, if the Trump want to come now to Israel, I never go now to Balfour. It's not match what we want and what they want, so it's not going to happen in this situation ever. A lot of time people say I'm Mr. Security, but now the security is not the issue. Now the economy and the money, this is this situation. If we don't have money and a common good and the people that they have something to eat, the security is not interesting.
I go to a lot of these. I'm happy she's finally angry enough to go with me, though.
The fact that they pushed this law through really pissed me off.
Last week, Israeli parliament passed a sweeping measure that allows for new laws meant to curb the virus to be implemented within 24 hours without Knesset approval. But critics of this new law think it's just a way for the government to expand its power.
They are saying that the cabinet can push through directives on the entire population of Israel, and that the Knesset committees, only 4 of them are relevant, will have 24 hours to approve or reject it. But in addition to that, and this is the part that it really, really made me angry, they also have the power to decide that the Knesset committees on urgent issues, whatever they deem urgent, which they don't define, don't have to go to the committees at all. And not only that, but the Knesset committees, which are relevant, only 4 of them which exist, can only do anything about it after an entire week. This is absolutely toxic. It is a nail in the coffin for small businesses. It's a nail in the coffin for independent contractors. And I can't believe after everything, and even after the protests that have already happened, that this is continuing. It really concerns me when you have government being increasingly expanded at this level. I'm a person who doesn't believe in this, despite the fact that I'm in Likud, that I'm a Likud supporter. I don't think that this is in line with our values as a party and what the platform stands for. And it really, really upsets me that they're using the coronavirus as an opportunity to politicize this issue and to push through specific people's agendas and things that act against even other figures in their own party, such as the head of the coronavirus committee.